The official card of UFC 265 is stacked, where the headlining bout will be a heavyweight championship match, which is basically not a championship match. The co-main event was supposed to be the women's bantamweight championship, but it is now replaced with Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz after Amanda Nunes tested positive for COVID. It is undoubtedly UFC's least good PPV of 2021, but still there are a few promising fights that you really shouldn't miss. Let's talk about them one by one. So hello everyone and welcome to the Fight Book. The early prelims of UFC 265 Lewis vs Gane has 4 unranked fights where most of the fighters are on losing streaks. So I'm not gonna talk about it, but if you still wanna watch that, no one is stopping you. 4 fights are stacked in the preliminary card where there is a promising lightweight bout between Rafael Fiziev and Bobby Green. Rafael Fiziev is a former Muay Thai champion where he holds an impressive record of 29 wins and only 4 losses. He was undefeated in MMA when he joined UFC in April 2019. Despite losing his UFC debut, which is his lone career loss, Fiziev is on a rise in the UFC with his 3-fight win streak. He received Fight of the Night against his second last opponent before opening up a lot of eyes in his most recent appearance, a first round knockout win over Renato Moicano at UFC 256, where he got his first performance of the night in this promotion. Odds are also in his favor, where he is a moderate favorite with -300. Bobby Green on the other hand has a strong wrestling background. He is one of the earliest UFC fighters with a professional record of 27 wins and 11 losses. He had a very busy 2020 as he competed 4 times. He started out the year with 3 straight victories before dropping a unanimous decision to Thiago Moises at UFC Vegas 12 this past October. The fight was good enough to kick off the main card, but instead we have another unranked fight to kick it off, which is a bantamweight bout between Song Yadong and Casey Kenny. Yadong is coming off a unanimous decision loss to Kyler Phillips in UFC 259. This was his first UFC loss, which broke his 9-fight win streak. Yadong's most notable victory is over Marlon Vera by unanimous decision back in May 2020. His MMA record is 16 wins and 5 losses with the UFC record of 5 wins and only 1 loss. Kenny's MMA record is 16 wins and 3 losses, and he is also coming off a split decision loss to Dominic Rose in UFC 259, which snapped his 3-fight win streak. Second is a ranked fight in strawweight division, which is a rematch between number 10 Tecia Torres versus number 12 Angela Hill. Former teammates on the Ultimate Fighter 20 squared off at UFC 188 back in 2015, where Torres outworked Hill to earn a unanimous decision, improving her record to 6-0. Torres is on a 2-fight win streak after a 4-fight skid with the professional record of 12 wins and 5 losses. She has unanimous decision victories over some of the notable names like Michelle Waterson, Paige Van Zandt and current champ Rose Namajunas. While Angela Hill, who is a former Invicta FC strawweight champion, is on a just 1-fight win streak after 2 back-to-back losses. She defeated Ashley Yoder by unanimous decision back in March 2021, and now her MMA record is 13 wins and 9 losses. Odds are not in favor of her because she is the underdog with +115. The first fight between top ranked fighters is a welterweight bout that will give us a new title contender for Kamaru Usman's title. Number 6 Vicente Luque, who has never been knocked out, versus number 5 Michael Chiesa, who has never knocked out anyone. Michael Chiesa has a professional record of 18 wins and 4 losses, where 11 of his 18 wins came via submission while other 7 were decision victories. He defeated Elia Quinta in 2012 to win the Ultimate Fighter 15 lightweight finale. In his lightweight run, he lost 4 of his 10 UFC fights, and when it was hard for him to make 155 pounds anymore, he moved up to the welterweight division in 2018. His welterweight run is going pretty well as he is undefeated in this division. He defeated Carlos Condit, Diego Sanchez, Rafael Dos Anjos and Neil Magny in his welterweight fights, and now Vicente Luque, whose favorite with -180, is his last test to prove he is a legit title contender. Vicente Luque joined UFC in 2015 with a professional record of 7 wins and 5 losses, which was definitely not a good record at that time. But since joining UFC, he fought 15 times and lost just 2. He is now on a 3-fight win streak with a professional record of 20 wins and 7 losses. He is coming off a first round submission victory over former welterweight champion Tyron Woodley at UFC 260. Reigning UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman's manager Ali Abdulaziz recently suggested that Usman could likely defend his title against Michael Chiesa this year. So the winner will definitely enter in the title contention with Gilbert Burns and Leon Edwards. Number 5 ranked bantamweight Jose Aldo will return to the octagon against number 9 ranked Pedro Munoz in the co-main event of UFC 265. Most of the new UFC fans know him as a man who got knocked out by Conor McGregor in just 13 seconds in a title fight, because this clip is shown by UFC in every trailer of Conor fight. That was definitely the worst loss of his career, but for many UFC fans who witnessed Aldo's prime, he is the greatest featherweight of all time. Aldo was WEC featherweight champion when Dana White announced WEC would merge with the UFC. After the merger, his WEC belt was promoted to the UFC belt, which he defended 7 times against some of the top names like Chad Mendes, Frankie Edgar and the Korean Zombie. He was on an 18 fight win streak where 11 of those 18 fights were for the title, when he couldn't take Conor's effective trash talk and his aura in the octagon and lost the title in just 13 seconds. When UFC stripped off Conor McGregor from the title due to inactivity, he beat Frankie Edgar for the vacant title and became 2 times featherweight champion. Unfortunately, this was his last notable achievement. He lost his title on Max Holloway in his first title defense and then lost the rematch as well. After getting 2 consecutive victories, he again suffered a loss to the current champ Alexander Volkanovski. He decided to move down to the bantamweight division, where he suffered 2 back-to-back losses in his first 2 bantamweight fights against Marlon Moraes and Peter Yan. Now he's coming off the first bantamweight victory of his professional career, a strong showing against Marlon Vera. Before fighting with Conor McGregor, his professional record was 25 wins and only 1 loss, which is now 29 wins and 7 losses, but he's still betting favourite against Munoz with -140. Pedro Munoz, who has victories over bantamweight stars like Cody Garbrandt and Rob Font, returned to the win column last time with a unanimous decision victory. 3 of Munoz's 4 most recent bouts earned Fight of the Night honors, so it is unlikely that UFC 265's co-main event is boring. Munoz is a former RFA bantamweight champion with a professional record of 19 wins and 5 losses. He has been fighting for the UFC since 2014 but never got a chance to fight for the title, and his victory over Jose Aldo is also not putting him into the title contention because he is ranked as number 9 yet. So basically it is Aldo's fight to prove he still has something up his sleeve and he will again reach the top, unlike Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva and Conor McGregor, who couldn't be the same after losing the belt. Undefeated heavyweight phenom Ciryl Gane will battle the Black Beast Derrick Lewis in the main event on Saturday, August 7. The winner takes home the interim heavyweight strap and a chance to unify the titles against reigning division kingpin Francis Ngannou. Derrick Lewis is a former LFC heavyweight champion who joined UFC in 2014. In his first run towards the title, he defeated Marcin Tybura, Alexander Volkov and current champ Francis Ngannou to get his first title shot against then champion Daniel Cormier at UFC 230 in November 2018. He wasn't lucky that night because DC submitted him by a rear naked choke in the second round to fail his first attempt to get the gold. Now he's again on a 4-fight win streak, including last February's destruction of Curtis Blades with a record of 25 wins and 7 losses. He was supposed to fight Ngannou for the title, but Ngannou wasn't ready to fight him in UFC 265 and wanted this fight to happen at UFC 266. So UFC replaced him with Ciryl Gane and made this fight official for the interim heavyweight belt. Ciryl Gane, the undefeated with the record of 9-0, is not someone new in the fighting field with only 9 fights. He started his combat career in 2014 in the Muay Thai ring and won the heavyweight title in just 2 years. He was still undefeated in Muay Thai with 13 wins when he won TKO's vacant heavyweight title in his first mixed martial arts fight in 2018. Ciryl Gane made his UFC debut in August 2019 with the MMA record of 3 wins and no loss. He is fresh off his unanimous decision victory over top 5 heavyweight Alexander Volkov, which was his 6th straight win under the UFC banner. Now his MMA record is 9 wins and no loss, but his overall combat record is 22 wins and no loss. He is -350 favorite with 2 inches reach advantage against Derrick Lewis. If you enjoyed the video or any part of it, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, do whatever you want.